Hello and welcome. It's that time of the year again, and we are back with a show all about the Oscars or the Academy Awards, as apparently we're not really allowed to use the word Oscars. TM. Yeah, so we are back with our we're gonna say predictions, but we're gonna get some wrong and gonna get some right. And this year is a really weird one because the Oscars are a bit weird and they've turned into a drama and a popularity contest. I mustn't forget to introduce my, you can tell that I don't do this very often. So I must introduce my guest or my co-host, Jawa, who is also my co-host on our weekly film review show, Meet Me in the Foyer. So yeah, hi Jawa, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thanks. Yes, thank you for having me on
Good.
again on our now annual event. Good to be back. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
we are missing one person this year, but I think the two of us have seen enough movies this year, so I reckon we can do it. And
Yep.
from the get-go, I think what give me your general feelings about this year's Oscars from all the news and all the drama and all the sort of the gossip that you've heard over the
Mhm.
last few weeks. What are your feelings?
I think you're right. I think more than ever, it's become a popularity contest, and so people are finding it easier. I mean, we don't know the results yet, but they're seemingly finding it easier to predict the results because they sort of, the popularity of the entrants going in and leading up to the awards themselves. So it might be the most predictable Oscar Academy Awards ever, but we shall have to wait and see whether that comes true and whether we come out of it looking like the experts that we like to think we are, or slightly embarrassed by our predictions being entirely wrong. But we shall see.
Yeah, also I think because of the nature of the Oscars, because they're the very last awards in the season, because we get everything else beforehand. By the time we get to the Oscars, I said this on the show earlier this week. By the time we get to the Oscars, if you are someone who works in the film industry or who is a critic or commentator and film commentator in any way or shape, you are likely to have had enough by now, and you've had so many sort of takes throughout the last few months that you just want to get the Oscars out of the way.
Mm,
Whatever happens, let's say, I mean, I still love all the films I predicted would win something all the way back in, I don't know, like at the end of last year or sort of, even like at the end of the summer last year.
mm.
I still think some of those movies deserve to get the awards I predicted them to be getting. But I also feel like because of what happened at BAFTA and then the consequent sort of people trying to cancel Timothy Chalamet over some absolutely ridiculous story. I feel like that could play against, all of the movies that we've
Mm.
predicted would win something. So it's anyone's guess, really, who's going to win. So let's start. But I think you've got a list that
I
we
do.
prepared earlier, few months ago, a couple of months ago, I think.
Absolutely. That's right. Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple of months ago now. Yeah.
And a couple of months ago, we kind of like roughly predicted, and I did say to Joa that I think by the time we get to the Oscars, I am gonna have to change my mind, not change my mind about who I want to win. That I still, the films that I chose are still my favorite movies, and I still think those movies ought to be winning. The difference is that because of what happened at the BAFTAs and before that, I feel like I might want to change my mind on some awards.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I've had a little look at the list that we produced a couple of months ago, and I don't know if we want to go through all of them, all of the awards.
No, well, probably not. Probably not. Because we did, if you guys remember, we did when the Oscar nominations were, were released. We did a special show, and we gave, actually, we did every single
We
category,
did.
didn't
We
we?
did. Yeah,
We did every
absolutely.
single category, but we're gonna be kind and sort of easy on everyone, and probably be very picky and just do the main ones really.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Which means the first one that appears on my list is the Academy Award for Cinematography. Now, I gave that to Sinners, and I still think that's a reasonable prediction slash guess. And on my list, I've got you down as Train Dreams brackets one battle after another. So
I still want one battle after another or Train Dreams. I don't think Train Dreams has got legs.
no.
I don't think that's going to win. I still want one battle after another. I think for me, what I want to win is one battle after another. But I think you might be right. I think
Mm.
Sinners might win this one. I think we might end up with Sinners taking home way more awards than we had first thought. And it's been a really popular film with people who like genre movies, because if you see all the sort of the top tens of the last year, especially by outlets that encourage sort of people whose readers are more into the genre stuff, they've all had it at number one rather than the film one but after another, Marty Supreme, and all the other movies that have been winning. So think you might be right. I think it could be Sinners. So let's do Sinners. Yeah.
I was just wondering actually whether you know whether when the Academy Award votes are finalized, sort of how far ahead of the ceremony.
Oh, very last minute, I think. I think it's pretty
Oh,
much like the Oscar, the BAFTAs. I'm not entirely sure. I ought to know that really. I should really know that, but I think it's quite close. Yeah. I
apparently
feel, yeah,
they closed 5th of March, so 10 days ago.
yeah.
So yes, they could definitely be swayed by the press and the recent gossip and stories that have been circulating. Absolutely.
Ridiculous. It's no longer about the films, you know.
Hmm.
And has it ever been about the films though?
Not
Really, when you
entirely. No.
exactly. I mean, some years it's been about the films, but like if you look at check its past, the Oscars have had some real sort of stinkers winning like really big because they just happen to have uh like a really good campaign
Hmm.
throughout the like nearer the time of the votes. So I don't know. I really like your guess as good as mine. I mean, I must say, and like I know they're the biggest awards, and they're the last ones, and then winning an Oscar is like everyone's dream.
Yes.
They are my least favorite awards, I must say. I have to say, and I never like when you look back at who won in the last few years, I disagree with most of them, really. I think
Yeah,
I've agreed maybe in the last 10 years, I've agreed with five, maybe.
I think that's really fair. Yeah, I think you can go back, as you said before, almost to the beginning of the Oscars, and invariably you look at the Best Picture film and think, really? So rarely they seem to stand up, sort of stand the test of time as a great film. It's whatever is sweeping the mood, sort of emotionally and politically at that time.
Mm.
So very often a sort of an emotionally driven, politically possibly driven drama will win because famously comedies and horror and comic book movies don't get a look in. So, obviously this year there's a slight anomaly in F1 being nominated in Best Picture. Whether that's one could be extremely cynical and say whether that's due to the lobbying of powerful and very wealthy production houses, who knows? But
It
it's
did
not
really
one of the
well
best
at the
films
box
ever made.
office.
It did,
It's the
yes.
movie. I do not begrudge it being nominated in the least because I really genuinely believe if a film is making money, then why not? I don't think it should be ignored by award season. And I have found the whole sort of reverse snobism when it comes to genre movies a little bit, I have absolutely no issue with it being nominated. There are better movies
Mm.
that should have been in that top 10, but I completely understand why it's there.
Yes, it's funny, isn't it? Because last year I remember us having a discussion about popularity versus quality, and me saying, the Academy risks losing touch with people because it sort of has sort of high-minded ethics and a manifesto,
Yeah.
but it's not nominating the popular movies. And this year, and you said, oh, it's not about that; it's about the best cinema. And it's almost as if this year we flipped a bit because I'm not sure why F1's there because although it was fun and it made lots of money, it's not one of the best films of the year or
No,
or
it's not.
anymore. And you're defending it, so ironically we're playing both sides of the coin.
No, no,
But
but I am not. I wouldn't say I'm defending it. When I went to see F1 the movie, I was really entertained. I
yeah,
don't think it's the best movie of the year, and I don't think it's one of the 10 best movies of the year. Far from that. I understand why it's there
yeah,
because it is a film that's done really well, and I think technically, actually, it's really, really good movie. All the
mm.
sort of the racing stuff was really exciting, and you are right. It is, it doesn't really belong in the top 10. No, do not begrudge it being in the top 10 because I understand why it's there. And I think Hollywood is just looking after itself.
yeah,
And, when you see people like in the year when, uh, what when Tom Cruise was doing so well with all his movies, he was still not being nominated for anything,
mm.
and it's kind of it makes you feel like why this guy. The only way they could give him an award was to give him one that was outside of the ceremony, and it makes you feel like what is this? Is this about films that are doing really well at the box office, or is it films that are doing really well in general? Actually, it's not us that can't make that our minds up. It's Hollywood that can't make its mind up, in my opinion.
Very good. Very good point. Yes, yes, it's Hollywood's fault, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I presume then that Mr. Cruz won't get the award represented to him in the ceremony,
No
and get
idea.
his moment on stage. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay, so shall we move on to our second prediction, which was editing, which in which category I went for one battle after another, and Linda went for Marty Supreme, and I think that's going to be the head-to-head throughout the
Oh,
entire night, really, isn't it?
I really want it to be Marty Supreme, but like this seems to be a kind of a deliberate campaign against Marty Supreme.
Mm,
And I just find it really ridiculous because it's no longer about movies, it's
yeah.
no longer about what movie is the best. And it just makes me a bit sad that, it's made, this is Marty Supreme movie made by a really capable filmmaker who has made such wonderful movies and films that make you like really excited about cinema again. The same for one better after another, like being a diehard Paul Thomas Anderson fan as I am, for me, those two movies are the best movies of the year. Like I keep saying, because I
Yes.
had them as my joint number ones this year. Either one that wins would be, I'd be happy. I don't think I'd be happy if Sinners won over them because I just don't think Sinners is a better movie than Marty Supreme or One Better After Another. I'm sorry, Sinners fans, and don't come for me. That's how I feel about it.
I think that's fair. But as you mentioned earlier, with sort of popularity contests and media coverage, it has felt like there's certainly been a sort of negative campaign about Timothy Chalamet over the last few weeks. Almost no mention really of Leonardo DiCaprio, and I wouldn't be surprised if on the tonight Sinners comes up and sweeps a lot of the awards away because there's been so much press around Sinners, a lot of it in sort of understandable sympathy following the BAFTAs ceremony, which shouldn't have an impact, but we all know how the
It's
industry
just
works. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's spectacle, isn't it? It's
mm,
like that's why people watch award shows. I mean, we could either decide that they don't mean anything, they are meaningless, or we could say, oh, the best movie of the year must win the best Oscar, best picture Oscar.
yeah.
And are we? do we take it that seriously, or should we just watch just for the drama? Who knows, you know?
Yes.
But as I
Um,
said, I still want either Marty Supreme or One Battle After Another to win.
mm,
I think it's going to be One Battle After Another, but I have a suspicion it could be Sinners.
okay. Well, I
What do
predicted
you
one
think?
battle, so I'll stick with that one
Okay.
as my guess.
Mhm.
And the next category would be sound, in which I went for F1 and Linda picked Sinners. So either could be, I think, could be the winner there, but we shall see.
For sound, I think Sinners. I picked Sinners, didn't I? I
You
think
did.
Sinners will win that.
Did indeed. And then that moves us on to three I'm going to bunch together because it's production design, makeup, and costume. And in production design, Linda predicted Frankenstein. In makeup, she predicted Smashing Machine. And in costume, it was Sinners. For myself, in production design, I predicted Hamlet. In makeup, I predicted Frankenstein. And in costume, I predicted Frankenstein. Um, I think
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
stick.
win that one.
I'm gonna stick with those predictions.
Okay.
Also, if those don't win, I think all the ones that were nominated actually deserve to be there. So I wouldn't
Mm.
be disappointed if any of the others. Frankenstein has had a bit of a weird ride this award season. Loads of people really do not like that movie. I really
Mm.
liked it. Um, I like really tons of people have taken against it. Really, really taken against it. And so many people said it's boring, it's predictable, it's not very innovative. I disagree completely. I really enjoyed it. I do feel that at the detriment of other Netflix movies, it was presented, what has been put forward over Train Dreams. I just wish Train Dreams had been given more of sort of a push by Netflix, and I genuinely think if Netflix had done all that work that it did for Frankenstein for Train Dreams, I think Train Dreams would be in with a chance of winning tons of awards. It's just a shame.
Yes, no, absolutely. And Frankenstein, of course, did very well at the BAFTAs in these categories. So I think it's got a good chance at the Oscars. And this gives me the chance to fit in my first fabulous Academy fact of the evening, as Frankenstein has a 207-year gap between its origination as the Mary Shelley novel and its nomination for the 2025 Guillermo del Toro Netflix film, which a gap that's only bettered by Tom Jones, which was based on a 1749 novel and then made into a 1963 film, which is a
Mm.
214-year gap. Hamlet, which was the Kenneth Branagh version in 96, which was based on the 1601 play, so it's a 395-year gap, and the possibly dubious inclusion of "O Brother, Where Art Thou" from 2000, based on the Greek poem The Odyssey, written around 700 BC. So that's a 2,700-year gap. But
Excuse me, there'll be no "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" slander. That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I entirely agree. I think it's a fabulous
Okay.
film. But I did read an article only a couple of weeks ago from the Coen brothers saying it's kind of not based on that. It kind of we just
Yeah.
used bits. So it's yeah, that's a bit of a dubious fact there for you. But that's your first dubious fact of the evening from me. Um, so where do we go now? Ah, here we go. So we'll have another dubious fact after this one, as it's the animation category, in which Linda voted for K-pop Demon Hunters and I went for Zootopia 2. Um, what do
The
you
only
think?
thing that it might have against it is that it is a Netflix movie. Well, actually, it's not really a Netflix movie. So, K-pop Demon Hunters was made by Sony
Mm,
and sold to Netflix, who kind of chose not to show it like for that long in cinemas. I almost wish Sony had hang on to it because Sony have been doing really well with their animations lately, and I feel like in the hands of Sony, K-pop Demon Hunter would have won so many more awards. And I mean, it's won tons of awards
mm,
so
mm.
far. But yeah, I still think that's going to win. I still think that's going to win.
Okay.
But the only thing it has playing against it is the fact that it wasn't released in cinemas. People could be in Hollywood can be a little bit, as I said, sniffy and snobby for about Netflix. Yeah.
Yes, and it did surprisingly lose out at the BAFTAs to a film that I couldn't forget the name of, which is terrible of
Bung.
me.
What you mean the family movie?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
to Bung,
Ah,
which is
that.
a an Indian movie, Indian language movie. Actually, quite that was very surprising, actually.
Mm.
Um,
They certainly looked surprised
yeah,
when they got their name read out.
yeah, yeah, very surprising. I interviewed the director, who she was like beside herself. But it is a great movie, though. So,
Mm. Fantastic. I'm going to stick with mine, Zootopia 2. And I get to, yeah, now time for my second dubious fact of the evening already. As Zootopia 2 is this year's highest grossing nominated film, having taken a staggering 1.86 billion, that's
oh my God.
1.39 billion pounds worldwide. And it's a big money year, actually, because other box office smashes nominated this year include Avatar, Fire and Ash, which has taken 1.11 billion pounds. That's $1.48 billion dollars. And the what's the highest grossing film in the best picture category we've already discussed. It's F1, which took 472 million pounds or $632 million dollars. So
Well, I mean, look, it's a good year for cinema and it's
yes,
in really great health. And it's movies like Avatar and F1 and all the rest that pay for us to sort of to be indulgent in watching real cinema. So we must thank those movies for making it easier for us to sort of to have the films we end up all voting for.
very fair, absolutely. So next on our list was international film, and Linda went for oh, I've written voice of, which I'm
Um,
confused by. I think that's maybe a spell check. So I might skip over that category instead and just go for score. Let's look at
yeah.
score.
Who did you
I went for international. I went for sentimental
value?
value.
Sentimental
Yes.
value. I think it's sentimental value has won quite a bit. I do feel like the Brazilian movie, what's it called? The Secret Agent. I feel like the Secret Agent might be in with a chance. And also, oh, I said the voice of Hind Rajab.
Ah, yes, that's what it
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be.
Um, is that going to win? Don't know. I don't think that's going to win. But I do want either the Secret Agent or it was just an accident to win. And both movies, I think it was just an accident might win.
Okay, interesting. And of course, after this ceremony, I will tot up our scores and we'll reveal who came out on top in our next episode of Meet Me in the
Okay.
Foyer. Uh, look forward to that. So yeah, we move on to score, and in this one, I went for One Battle After Another, and Linda's gone for Sinners, and I think Linda's got this one, to be honest. If I get the chance to change my vote, I would probably join you with Sinners on that one.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
anyone's. I feel like because there's been such a hoo-ha. Obviously, we could all be wrong, and people are probably cleverer than to vote in that way, and we're probably doing them some disservice by saying they're going to be swayed by the BAFTAs or the attempted cancellation of poor old Timmy.
mhm.
Just to say, the attempted cancellation of Timmy is absolutely ridiculous. He is a sweetheart, you know, he's just the loveliest person. He came to our awards, was respectful to everyone, just the most wonderful. I mean, he's a massive star, obviously, because of him. There's less security around him, and but still came across as just one of the loveliest people. And I feel like there is a tendency for if someone is getting lots of hype or is liked by loads of people, there is a tendency to want to bring them down because you know, God knows why. he does have an army of fans who
Mm.
are not standing by and taking this. They are all out sort of defending him online, and also he's been on this Asian tour. He's been to Japan, China. I think he's gone to Korea as well, but I can't remember. Don't quote me on the Korea. And he's been having the whale of a time, and I don't think he cares about all the hoo-ha around him. And I'd like to think he doesn't care.
Good.
Um, it just seems really unfair to sort of do this to someone like him. He's since he was in Call Me by Your Name, he's been nominated for three Oscars, three Best Actor Oscars, and he's not even 30 yet, or he's just about to turn 30.
Mm.
That is insane. That's
Yeah.
absolutely insane. No one can take that away from him. And he's not overhyped. He's really a good actor. And I, this is why Hollywood doesn't look after its people. It seems, he's pure talent and someone who genuinely admires filmmaking. And to have people trying to pull him down or bring him down for whatever ridiculous reason is actually quite ludicrous and a bit sort of nasty.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, leave him alone.
That's social media for you, unfortunately, these days. But yeah, no, absolutely. And I think I think this is a category as well where we were baffled that Train Dreams hadn't received a nomination. Made
Yeah.
no sense with its fabulous score by Nick Cave. But yeah, once again, all we can do is keep spreading the word and say, if you haven't seen Train Dreams, go out and see it because it's
Let's
absolutely
see.
brilliant.
I'm sorry if I went on a
No,
tangent.
not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
But that does bring us neatly to Best Song, in which Linda chose the song nominated from K-pop Demon Hunters again, and I went for Sinners. Because whilst I didn't think Sinners was perhaps the best film, the musical arrangement and the ideas going on in it, especially the particular song which transcends sort of black history, was I thought the highlight of the film. So I think that would be a thoroughly deserving winner, and I'm going to stick with that as
Okay.
my
Fair
prediction.
enough. Fair enough. Respect.
Um, so now we move into the big categories, and the next one is screenplay. Now, a little bit of hedging here from Linda, as Linda chose Marty Supreme and Sinners.
Is this adapted screen? No, it's
No, this is
original
original screenplay.
original
Yes,
screenplay.
indeed.
I want it to be Marty Supreme. I think it's going to be one battle after another.
I think that's fair. Yes, that's where I've gone. I've gone with one battle after another, and yeah, I can't see past that winning the award.
Mm.
Um, pardon me. So which then of course leads us to adapted screenplay. Although so I didn't go for one battle because that's an adapted. So yeah, in adapted screenplay, Linda
Oh,
has gone
sorry.
for
Yes,
one battle
that's
after another,
adapted. Sorry,
and
apologies. So
I went.
in that case, it will be Marty Supreme for me.
Mm,
Original
mm.
screenplay. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you there
Yeah.
actually. But yes, in adapted, you've gone for one battle after another,
After,
and
yeah, one battle after
I've
another.
chosen Hamnet, but I've also hedged slightly and given myself a second option of Begonia, because
Yeah.
it's just bonkers. And where else? I couldn't really see anywhere else it was going to pick up an award apart from Best Actress. So yeah, so I've gone with that one there. Um, Right, so a huge category now. It's director, although I think possibly the most predictable category of them all, if things go the way that people seem to be suggesting.
Poor Thomas Anderson. No
Yeah.
one's winning this apart from him. If someone else wins this, then the Oscars are a joke. But then again, we do know that the Oscars are a joke. So
Yeah. And just to be contrary, or just to give me a split the difference, I've gone for Safdie on this one, but I do agree that it's actually going to be Paul Thomas Anderson. So a fairly easy one to predict there. And it's, of course, there's another. I've got another one of my dubious facts here, as it's a year where now where have I written it? Um, Yes, so we've got several nominees this year who are very loyal to their directors. Four of this year's leading actor nominees have been recognized for films that are directed by their long-term collaborators. So this year, Ethan Hawke is nominated, who's collaborating on his ninth film with Richard Linklater. Michael B. Jordan is nominated, who's in his fifth collaboration with Ryan Coogler. Emma Stone is nominated, who's in her fifth nomination, so fifth collaboration, I should say, with Yorgos Lanthimos. And it's Renate Rensve
Mhm.
in her third collaboration with Joachim Trier. So yeah, huge. Was that that's it's directors and their muses, I suppose
Yeah, I
you
guess
could
so. Yeah.
put it down as. But you find people you like working with, you can communicate with, and sort of
I can't believe those all of those films, those directors had films this year. It's
Mm,
incredible. This year it's been an incredible year for film, and I don't know why
absolutely.
people complain. You know, that's
No,
genuinely it's been like, can you imagine like a year where Yorgos Lanthimos, Joachim Trier, Richard Linklater, Paul Thomas Anderson, Josh Safdie, who else? um,
Lanthimos.
Lanthimos. Yeah, I
Yeah.
said Lanthimos.
Oh,
All
sorry.
of these people had films coming out the same year, and they're all absolutely brilliant, bangers.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I really feel like cinema is finding its feet again after the COVID years. And I mean, I mean, this year we get just in July we get films from Christopher Nolan and Steven Spielberg coming out
Yeah.
in the same month. So, yeah, another fabulous year on the cards, I think. So that leads us on to the acting categories. And in the supporting actor, Linda has gone for Lindo, and I have gone for Penn. And
I
of course,
want
discussing
Penn
that.
to win. I
Yeah,
want Penn to win. I just think Daryl Lindo is going to win.
yeah.
Just have a feeling he will win. Penn is not really liked in Hollywood, I have the feeling.
Mm,
I want Sean, I adore Sean Penn. I'm a massive fan of his, and I said he would get nominated and win pretty much every award as soon as I watched one better after another. I feel like the Academy will probably go for Delroy Lindo because I mean he's never won before, and I also feel like because of what happened at the BAFTAs, people are thinking that way.
yeah.
Uh,
Yes, no, I think that's right. And uh, I mean, Penn won the BAFTA, but perhaps he was surprised by that as well because he didn't turn up to the ceremony. He might have been busy. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't do award ceremonies,
He
but
didn't turn up to the Critics Circle Awards either,
no.
and he won that one. So, but like, I genuinely, I knew he was going to get nominated because loads of people were saying, uh, there are two good performances as supporting actor in that movie. Remind me who else?
Oh,
Benicio del Toro.
that's
Everyone
right.
was saying Benicio might get it. But I like Benicio is not in the movie as full on as Sean Penn. Sean Penn is like an integral part of that movie. He is the villain of the piece,
Mm.
and he's in it from beginning to end. So it really made sense that he had won all of those awards.
Or Benicio could do a Judi Dench. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe.
So that leads us to supporting actor in actress, sorry. In which case, Linda has gone for Madigan, and I have gone for Fanning. And
Fanning isn't winning that, I don't
no,
think.
I think you're right again. I think
I
it's
think Wumi might win for Sinners, but I still want Madigan to win. I think she's fabulous. Yeah, let's see.
yeah. I'm slightly surprised by some of the hype around Romy because I thought she was okay in Sinners, but I perhaps I need to watch it again. I wasn't quite as
Oh,
blown
she was
away
great.
as others
She
have
was
been.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to interview her actually for Sinners. So
Oh, fabulous.
yeah, great person. She's British.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. She's fabulous, really good actress. And Emmy Madigan's been in Hollywood for a very long time, like proper married to Ed Harris, proper like acting family and uh, with a great history of being like very, an activist in Hollywood and also against I, I, there's a little aside, a story of Elia Kazan. So Elia Kazan was presented with an Oscar, one of those Oscars that they give you for being around for a long time. I can't remember what year. So it's possibly like early 80s or late 70s. And both her and Ed Harris were present and refused to stand up for him because there is a story about Elia Kazan during the McCarthy era where when he was interrogated, he was interrogated by McCarthy twice, I think, or three times, and the second time he went in front of the to be questioned.
Yeah.
He gave names of people who were in the Communist Party alongside him, and and ruined loads of people's lives. Tons and tons and tons of uh, film workers in Hollywood who never had the chance to work again because of Elia Kazan, and to be thanking him with an award like that, a mere what 20 years later is kind of a slap in the face. And
Mm.
my respect for Amy Madigan for having stood her ground and not, cheered for him when he won when he was given that awards. It's actually that's why I like her, and I just generally like her. She seems like a nice person, and I also think she did a really good job in that movie. And Weapons really should have had more nominations, and
Mm.
I feel like it deserves at least one award.
Of course, and she was strangely overlooked for the BAFTAs, wasn't she? So, yeah, no, I think you're on the money with that one again, and you can actually see that clip that Linda's referring to online on YouTube. It's very awkward as sort of half the room stands and half the room sits down,
Yeah.
resoundingly refusing to applaud. But yes, um,
As much as I am a fan of Elia Kazan's movies, I personally wouldn't have stood up,
no,
you know.
no. No, very odd. So the next category is perhaps the most predictable. I said that about the director, but we're back again with me saying that phrase once more, as it's the actress category, but leading actress, in which Linda has gone for Jessie Buckley, and I have gone for Emma Stone. And I think the wind appears to be blowing very much towards Jessie Buckley.
If Jessie doesn't win this, then there's no God. I mean, I'd be so surprised she doesn't win it. And I'd love to think she doesn't care about not winning it. I think she would be very disappointed if she doesn't win it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the actors say that awards don't matter, but when it comes to the Oscars, I think it matters a lot. And I've got two dubious facts for you in this category because Jessie Buckley could become the first Irish winner of Best Actress. There have been there have been three previous nominees, including Saoirse Ronan, Ruth Negg, and Brenda Fricker, although she won Best Supporting Actress, but no leading actress winners. She's won the Critics' Choice, she's won the Golden Globe, she's won the BAFTAs and Actor Awards. So it seems pretty likely she's going to pick it up this year. But I have an Emma Stone fact as well because Emma Stone could break two records this year. As aged 37, she could be the youngest woman ever to earn. Sorry, she already is the youngest ever actress ever to earn seven Oscar nominations, overtaking Meryl Streep, who was 38, and she's the first actress whose first five Oscar nominations were all nominated for Best Picture. So she's in 11 years, she's been recognized for roles in Birdman, The Favourite, Begonia, La La Land, and Poor Things. And she won for the last two of those.
I
So,
mean, greatest actress of her generation,
yeah,
genuinely, isn't she?
yeah,
Like
yeah, by
fabulous,
far.
brilliant actress. I just think it's Jessie's year. I
Yes.
I can't see anyone else beating her, but who
Mm.
knows?
And also shows you can't judge an actor by their early work because of course Emma started in things like Easy A and Superbad,
Hmm.
which whilst enjoyable films, wouldn't give you any
That's a
hint.
brilliant movie,
That's a great
classic,
film, yeah, but it give you no
classic.
hint that she was going to come on being a multi-Oscar winner. But no,
Love that
brilliant,
movie.
brilliant actress. Um, so let's give those poor chaps a chance. And in the best actor category in a leading role, it's Linda's choice is Timothy Chalamet, and I've gone for Michael B. Jordan.
If you'd asked me 2 months ago who's going to win, I would have said Timothée Chalamet. That's it. Nobody else is beating him. He's brilliant. And he is brilliant. He genuinely is brilliant. He is just so good in Marty Supreme. Oh, and if you think of it, he was also nominated last year for playing uh, Bob Dylan.
Mm,
And he also was great then. This guy can do no wrong in my eyes. I don't care what your opinion of him is outside of the realm of acting. And I also genuinely think he's actually quite a decent person. He deserves to win this. I don't think Michael B. Jordan is a better actor than him. He
no.
might win. He might win. I've never rated him as being a great actor. I mean, I'd be happy for him if he won. I'm just saying that the best performance of the year belongs to either Timothée Chalamet or Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon.
Ramon, yeah.
I those two performances are absolutely brilliant. I just think that Chalamet just, eclipses everyone around him. He is so good in this, and it. I'm really genuinely sad to see his dream of getting this Oscar could be sort of destroyed by some, some nonsense, like internet gossip nonsense.
Mm.
Yeah, we
And
haven't said why he's being cancelled. I don't think we need to say anything. It's ridiculous. There was a this kind of like interview and that one went up like 3 weeks before, and then it was up for, and tons of people watched it, and then suddenly one person watched it and tried to make a thing out of it. And people do that in Hollywood. They hire people to sort of to plant bad stories about you to harm your chances. And I'm sorry, but it does happen. If you see, there's also a story. I'm not going to go on about it, but I might mention it next week on the show next week. There's a really, really horrid story, but God was a Rebel Wilson
mm,
that just broke, and it's just absolutely horrendous. And it tells you everything you need to know about what Hollywood does, what not agents, but like promoters do to keep their stars in the limelight or to sort of show them or to destroy the people who are against them. So we'll talk about it next week because I want to read that bit more about it because I want to see how this develops because it's looking very bad for Rebel, and I don't think she's ever going to work again.
wow.
Genuinely.
Okay, so yeah, we'll look forward to that or not, but we'll definitely bring you that in the news on our next episode of Meet Me in the Foyer.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I feel like you're right. I think it probably is, despite everything that's going on, Timothy's year. But I would possibly swap my Michael B. Jordan for a Leonardo DiCaprio, just an outside bet on the coming up on the rails. And you can
And
never
it will
bet
be well
against him.
deserved,
Absolutely, yeah, he's fabulous in
you
that.
know.
And I can bring you two more dubious facts, because of course Timothy Chalamet is the youngest actor since Marlon Brando to score three Oscar nominations. He can't be the youngest actor to win one because that's he's aged past Adrian Brody, who won it at the age of 29, and Timothy's now 30. But yeah, still incredible
He,
career.
he was the youngest to be nominated for a best male Oscar when for Call Me by Your Name
Mm,
in 2018, I believe. Was
yeah,
it
that sounds about
17?
right.
Yeah.
And One Battle After Another is Leonardo DiCaprio's 12th movie to be nominated for Best Picture, drawing him level with Robert De Niro, the previous collaborator slash muse of Mr. Scorsese. So yeah, some good facts there. I say myself. So we come to the final award, as the ceremony will do in sort of 3 hours after it's begun, and as people are sort of wiping the sleep from their eyes. they get to choose or get to see who will be awarded the Academy Award for Best Picture, in which Linda has chosen one battle after another,
Still, I'm sticking with it.
and I have gone for the media darling, at least when the nominations came out, of Hamnet.
Oh,
Um,
Hamlet ain't winning that.
so it
It's
does seem to have got a bit
between one
quiet.
battle. It's between one battle and Sinners, and I think I want one battle to win. I think Sinners could win. You
Yeah,
know, I think
yeah.
Sinners could win, but I still, my money is still on one battle after another.
Fantastic. So that's the nominations and our predictions for this year's Academy Awards. And as I say, we'll do a wash up on our next episode of Meet Me in the Foyer. If you want to watch the Oscar coverage, you can do that free on British TV, live and free to air on ITV. Coverage starts at 10, and the awards themselves begin at 11 o'clock, which means, as I say, they'll probably finish around 2 a.m., I would guess. So if you've got work tomorrow, call in sick, as you're going to be pretty
Oh,
tired.
I can't do that.
No,
Yeah.
but we can all wait for the highlights and or just catch it up on the news, bleary-eyed, tomorrow morning. So yeah, that's our sort of walk through the nominations and our predictions for the Academy Awards 2026. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Get your popcorn ready, sit down. As I said previously to Linda, I always like the skits and the jokes, and hopefully there'll be a good amount of those this year.
Conan, being
Absolutely, Conan
presented
O'Brien.
by,
Yep.
we didn't say it was being presented by Conan O'Brien, who I absolutely adore. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
oh, and of course he has a. I wonder whether they'll give a mention to John Candy, because of course he has a connection with John Candy, and
It's,
his documentary came out this year. It's not nominated, but it would be fabulous if they did mention it. And I do think the in memoriam section this year will be particularly hard to get through because we've lost some absolute legends of the business.
yeah.
But no, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I hope you've enjoyed watching us as we chat through these nominations. It's been great to talk to you again, Linda. Great
I
to
knew.
and
And I hope I haven't waffled on for too long. I
absolutely
do have
not.
the tendency to go on on a tangent.
Always
Thank
interesting
you.
stuff, though, Linda. Always interesting.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week on our show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, watch, share with your friends, and we'll see you soon.
Indeed. Goodbye for now. Thank you very much.